Hello friends, this is Durga again from IT Varsity. At this time we are talking about writing and executing a high query in the data analysis module of HDP CD certification. And so far we have seen simple queries such as this one where you can limit the number of records for the preview. Now we will introduce more and more clauses in the select in these queries. So let me first explain what are the different clauses you have in the query. So there is a select clause, there is from clause under which you specify the table. Select clause is used to specify the column names, and then there is a where clause to specify the filtering, and then you have group by clause so that you can get aggregations done based upon certain grouping, based upon grouping certain columns. And when you use group by, there is another optional clause called having clause if you want to do certain filtering on grouped data. And then there is another clause called order by. So these are the important clauses which you need to be aware of. So first let me run a query. First let me run a query which covers all the clauses. For that, let us define a problem statement. So we have the table called orders, and in orders there are 4 columns: order ID, order date, customer ID, status. So if you want to see the number of orders um, uh, for a for a given date grouped by order status, you need to apply almost all the clauses. First, let us preview the data. Let's start from orders, limit 100. Okay, so let us pick a date. The date could be this 2013 December 14th, and for that date I want to see how many orders are closed, how many orders are completed, how many orders are pending payment, how many orders are pending, etc. So let's define a problem statement first. So for that I am going to my GitHub account. So for Hive related code, this is the this is the location in my code repository, code Hadoop EDW HTTP Hive, and here I will create a new file 05 hive query .sql or .text. Let me look at the extensions of the other files also. Okay, yeah, first let me look at the extensions of other files to make sure that yeah, it should be .txt. So new file hive 05 hive sql.txt. Okay, now I want to define a problem statement using all SQL HiveQL or SQL clauses. So problem statement is get number of orders by order status for a given date, which is 2013 December 14th. Okay, so this is our problem statement. So for that we need to the query will look like this. Select, I need order status, so I need to specify order status here, then count of 1 because I want to get all the orders per status. From which table? The table name is orders. Okay, and then you have to apply where condition because you want to filter by this one, and this has to be applied on order date. So order date equal to, so this is how the date is represented. As we are using equal to, we have to give the entire date. We will see what other operators are there later. For now we are only using equal to. Once you filter by that, you need to group by order status. Okay, so first we are specifying the fields that needs to be displayed. We need two fields. One is order status from the table directly, and second one is the derived field by applying count of 1 as a function. And from orders is the table name, and we have to filter on order date and then group by order status. So how the query will execute internally, irrespective of the language, irrespective of the SQL engine we are using, whether it is HiveQL or Oracle's SQL engine or whatever it is. The standard way of processing this is, first it will read the data from the table, in this case orders, and then it will apply the where clause so that it can filter out as much as possible quickly, and then it will apply the group by clause. Once the group by clause is applied, while querying the data, it will try to execute the count of one function to get the counts for each order status. So in this we are using select clause, from clause, where clause, and also if you want to display in proper order of order status, you can also say order by order status. Okay, so you have all the fields, all the standard all the standard clauses you write in a typical simple query. If you are dealing with joins, the queries will be a little bit more complicated. We will see that when we talk about joins later. And now the query is being executed. See that there is 1 cancelled, 14 closed, 29 complete, 3 on hold, 1 payment review, etc. Okay, so if you review the query again, we are trying to get all the orders, count of orders from date 2013 December 14th, group by order status. So I want to see number of completed orders, pending payment orders, etc. So there are 29 complete orders, which makes a lot of sense if you think from an enterprise, how many orders are there for a given date and how many are completed. So this is how you write a simple query. Now we will get into one clause at a time and try to delve deep in it. So first thing is from clause. From clause you will have, when we are not using joins, you will typically have only one table. Exceptions are joins, nested subqueries, etc. Otherwise you will have only one table in the from clause. So there is nothing much to discuss in the from clause for simple queries. And then comes where clause. Where clause, you have to give an expression. On one side you can have, so on both sides you can have expression. Expression can be a constant, so this is a constant. It can be a column name, so this is the column name from the table, or it can be derived field also. On either way you can have any of these things. You can have column name, you can have derived field, you can have constant. You can have any valid expression that can be that will actually give a value out of it. Okay, now comes operators. We have used equal operator here. Instead you can say greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, which is self-explanatory. So for example, instead of only getting for 2013 December 14th, if you want to get all the dates before 2013 December 14th, then you can run the query, same query like this. Let's define the problem statement and we will run the query. So get number of orders for each date before this date. So here I am not talking about order status. I just need to see how many orders are there for each day. Or let's say completed orders. Let's make it more complicated. So how it will look like? So here in the select clause, because we are asking for each date, and there is a field called order date in the orders table. So we are giving order date and then count of 1 from orders, then where clause, here I want to get all the dates before 2013 December. So when you are using these symbols, depending upon the data type, you will get the mixed results. So here the date is represented in string format. If you look at orders table data types, order date is of type string. So here date is represented as YYYY format. Okay, if the date is represented as DD format, then this query will give incorrect results. So you need to make sure that when you are trying to apply filtering condition on the date, especially the greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, etc., you need to ensure that the date is in appropriate format, and where the sorting happens in chronological order by using that format. For example, if the date is of format DD YYYY, okay, which is one example of date is 0101. First is month, and then 2000. Sorry, let's take the example of DD YYYY. Okay, so if you want to represent 1st of January, it will look like this: 0101 and then 2014. Okay, similarly, if you think about 31st of January, 31st of January will look like this. Okay, and then 1st of February will look like this: 0102 2014, right? And if you say less than or equal to 0102 2014, if you think about chronological order, this date is before this date, 1st of February 2014. But when you apply the condition on string, and if you try to sort, first it will come this one: 0101 2014, then 0102 2014, because the first character 3, both are of equal size, both strings are of equal size, and in this case the first string 3 is greater than the first string 0 here. So if you sort by date, when they are represented as string, then the sorting order will be 0101 2014, 0102 2014, and 3101 2014. And then when you apply these less than or equal to or greater than or equal to conditions, you will get incorrect results. But in this case, our date format is is as expected. It is in this format YYYYMMDD. So always, so the 1st of January will be represented as 2014 minus 01 minus 01, and 31st will be represented as 2014 01 31, and February will be represented as 2014 0201. So irrespective whether you are trying to sort it as a date or as a string, it will sort in chronological order, so there won't be any issues with this. So you can use that one here and paste it here. And also we need to check, get only the completed orders, not everything. So when you want to get completed orders on top of a particular order date, or less than or equal to particular order date, you have to use an operator called AND. It is called as Boolean operator. And then you can give the second column name. In this case it is order status, and the status is complete, because we are using equal to, it has to exactly match the way it is represented in data. So let me put it in caps. You can use so these clauses are not case sensitive, they are keywords. Either you can use a small letters or uppercase letters, but it is industry standard to write all the keywords within a database in the capital letters. Now paste that query here. Okay, and then I have to group by also. So group by order date, because I want to get count for each day. Order status. So this is another query which we are writing, and we have covered several aspects to it. We have covered operators in the where clause, and also we instead of using only one one where condition, we are applying several conditions. In this case, the condition has to be end, so you have to check both order date and also the order status to satisfy our condition. So hence we have to use end here. Sometimes you want to get the count of orders. If any one of the conditions match, in that case you have to use OR condition. And let's run this and hit enter. Again there is a issue with this. The column name is order underscore status. Yeah, okay, here it should be order date, not order status. Sorry, you cannot have field that is not there in select clause in order by clause. Okay, now run this query. So now you can see that there are several dates starting from 2013 July 25th in our data set till 2013 December 14th. There are 143 rows because we applied condition less than or equal to it. It has given data up to that date. Okay, so this is how you can play with the where condition. And now let us define another problem statement. Get number of pending orders for each date between for the month of 2013 December. Okay, here again there are you have to start with select order date is the date column field on which you want to group count of 1. So here we are asking get number of pending order on which attribute, date attribute. That's why we are specifying order date here, comma count of 1 from which table, orders, where in this case there are several ways how you can apply the where condition to get 2013 December. One is order date like. So there is a like operator because it is in YYYY minus M minus DD and then timestamp format. You can just say 2013 12, which will give data from 2013 December, and then you want to match all the dates which starts with this format 2013 minus 12, which means that it will only get data from 2013 December. And then and order status, if you go back to the results earlier, there are two types of statuses for pending. One is pending payment, second one is pending. Okay, and also payment review is also kind of pending only. Okay, so I want to check all these things: pending, payment review, and on hold. Let us redefine problem statement. Pending, review, and on hold. Okay, so order status, there are several ways to do with this. You can use order status in clause, and then you can say pending. So in clause is nothing but or of each of the condition. So if the order status is in pending or pending payment, or payment review, or on hold. Okay, and then group by order date, order by order date. And same query can be written in multiple ways. So in this case, the where condition can also be written as where order date, there is a operator called between, and then you can say 2013 01, sorry 12 01 and 2013 1231. So you can represent the order date like 2013 December with this one also. This is more appropriate when you store the date as dates only without formatting. If you want to apply and if you want to apply the range function, you can use this between operator. It can be applied on not only dates or strings, it can be applied on integers also. In case of integers, you will not pass the values in single quotes. So single quotes are only used when it comes to dealing with alphanumeric data types such as date, string, etc. And then you can also write end order status like, so because there are two pendings, pending percentage, okay, and but we also need to have payment review and hold, because it's a so order status can be either pending or pending payment or payment review or on hold. So as you are trying to apply multiple OR conditions, those OR conditions should be in a bracket. Otherwise, the way the conditions are evaluated can cause some issues. I will come back to this in a moment. Or order status in payment review on hold. Okay, so this is how the same condition can be represented. But this is when it comes to order status, this is the more appropriate way. I am showing this one also just to make you aware of different operators, how they can be used, like or, etc. Okay, so now why we have to put this thing in a separate bracket? Because what will happen is, if it is not in the separate bracket, the condition will be applied in such a way that where order date between, and it will check for these things, and order status like or. So if you don't put the brackets, what will happen is if order status is in payment review or on hold, or if the order date is between these dates, any one of those things will come out. For example, in this case, beyond 2013 December, there could be records with payment review and on hold. If you remove these brackets and run the query, okay, let me run it so that you understand. So in this query, let's remove this end clause. Okay, and run this query. And you will see the results. See here, even though we are asking for only 2013 December, you are getting for other dates also, because it is trying to get the counts by date. If order date is between these two dates, it will count everything in them. uh, or order status in payment review and on hold. Even those things outside the date range also you are getting the results, but our intention is only to get 2013 December by putting it in brackets like this. So both the conditions has to be evaluated. First, this one will be checked. So anything between 2013 December will only be considered. On top of that, it will check if the order status is in one of the four statuses like pending, payment review, on hold. If you remove the brackets, then what happens is it will apply this function, and then it will apply the function the expression in end clause, which is order status like pending, and then it will perform OR operation. So it will check whether order date is between the mentioned dates and order status is pending, or order status is payment review or on hold. So for the data which is payment review or on hold, it will not enforce the date range if you remove the brackets. Okay, so for that reason, having the brackets is very important when you are trying to club multiple conditions to collect the correct results. So let me write the correct query also here. Now if I put brackets here and run this query, you can see that data is limited to 2013 December. There is no records beyond that. Okay, same query, so if you run this query, it will give the same results. We are using little bit different syntax. We are, instead of using between operator on order date, we are using like, and with order status we are using order status in, which is nothing but internally this one, order date like this one, and order status. So there will be bracket equal to pending or order status equal to pending payment blah blah blah. So this one and this one are same. This is more readable format. So if you are trying to compare with multiple values for a given column, it is better to use in rather than writing this type of syntax, because you can make mistakes of ignoring the brackets before it, and it can give incorrect results. So it's very important to understand these things. If they try to test you on Boolean operators, it's very easy for you to get tricked. So make sure you understand this thoroughly. If you have any questions, let me know. I will try to clarify. Now if you run this query and review the results, it will give the same results as before. It will retrieve 31 records, and each date will have the same number of records. For example, 2013 December 31st, you have 112 for this query. Even for the previous query, which was written a little bit differently, using the correct alternative query, using between operator and order status like this, it gave the same results. So that being said, I hope you are enjoying the content. I will try to cover more scenarios for writing and executing queries in another 1 or 2 videos. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you want to provide the feedback, please use the comment section of the video. If you want to discuss further on certifications, please join my LinkedIn group called ITversity-certifications. If you want to ask any technical questions, please go to Stack Overflow and tag the questions appropriately. Someone will respond to you. And finally, if you are not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. You will get to see a lot more content like this over time. Thank you. Bye.